Alright guys, I just started my first workout on the Horizon. It's really smooth, really happy. Did pretty well, I thought. Oh, my thermos thing is coming apart. Yeah. That's not good. So I got the fire on. I'm warm, I'm sweating. I'm just going to do a little chat here with you while I suck back some ice water. Yeah, that's good. I think I have a cavity up here because my tooth is pretty sensitive to water, ice water, cold water, so it kind of sucks. It's his first cavity in a long time. So yeah, I wanted to talk about, guys, while I'm taking a little breather here. A little bit of prepping, okay? So I watched the season 2 finale of Alone. I followed the whole show through, all the way through, and there was a couple people at the end there that basically they had to be pulled because of medical reasons. They were starving out, basically. So, and it showed how desolate the place was in terms of getting food. How tough it is to actually hunt. So let's take a scenario, SHTF, right? Pour some water on myself. Spill some. So the SHTF, in this scenario, let's look at Alone, look at the finale. These two people are starved out. There's hardly any food to go around. There's not a lot of people there. Okay? So let's... Whoa. Okay. Let me take a look at that. That's the Horizon. Okay, yeah, it just went back to main menu because I haven't done anything on it. Anyway, can't keep getting interrupted. So... there's, on Alone, there's they're isolated from each other. There's no people around, other than occasionally the medical crew comes around and checks them out for safety reasons so they don't die. And I seem to have a drinking problem because water keeps getting dumped on me. I'll have to put it in the cup. But, yeah, so the SHTF scenario is, imagine the same Patagonia where the Alone was shot, but extrapolate that by a million people, or even 100,000. Let's say we got 100,000 people on the island. They're out for themselves. They each got their own little family groups. And resources are thin in terms of food, wildlife, you know, whatever. What will happen? We got people starving to death on the show. And if there's that many people on the island trying to survive and do the same thing, no one's gonna survive. Everybody's gonna kill over or start cannibalism, right? Because with that many people, it stresses the ecosystem out, the local ecosystem there out. How are you gonna get wild game? You got this many more people on the island or the continent. How are you going to survive? That's like, I hear this a lot on other prepper videos. Well, we're just going to bug out to the woods if the shit hits the fan, right? Well, when a couple million people bug out to the woods with your idea of doing that, you think there's going to be wild game just wandering around walking up to you with all that noise and commotion with a million people now living in the woods? No. The deer will be spooked, they'll be gone. Most of the animals will be spooked and be gone. And anybody hunting will end up killing a person, more likely to kill a person than an actual animal in that. Because I hear it all the time, guys. Why? Well, if the shit hits the fan, we're gonna run into the woods. We're gonna stay low. But everybody else has that same idea too. Most of them. Not a lot of them are bugging into the cities. If you're in a city, but a low population city, you might be okay. You might be able to make it. But if you're in one of these cities like New York or Chicago or whatever, you're done. Because you got way more people. Though you got people in the cities relying on all the services to get by on a day-to-day, and they didn't put anything back prepping wise, right? So you're gonna have riots and outbreaks and food outbreaks there. The stores will be bare and all that stuff. But if you're prepared already, guys, you don't have to deal with that crap. That's why you gotta have a pantry or something to stock up on your food with, right? I don't get it. These people on Alone, it's a good show. They show you all kinds of good survival skills and bushcraft skills, but when it comes down to the end, nitty-gritty end, the people who are successful at hunting are gonna make it. Everybody else is done. There's no, let's say Alone happened in real life. Same people, same island, same separation. But guess what? No medical team and no tap out button. The only tap out button you're gonna have is a bullet to the head to kill yourself, or you hang yourself, right? And medical, guess what? You're suddenly your medical team. You're the doctor. You're the nurse. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're done too. I know there was that one woman on there. She knows all about the plant medicines, and she had hell of a three nasty spider bites that could have killed her if she didn't get control of it. And she got control of it with some plants to suck the poison out, and it worked. But then again, and then after that, after getting basically healed up from that incident, she just goes and taps out. She's done. So I don't remember all the people's names because I don't really pay attention to that. It's not important. If you want to go watch the show and find out, go for it. It's a good show. This season was the longest amount of days out there. They were getting close to 100 days without electricity, right? Without food, unless they're hunting and get successful at that. Foraging for plants that they can eat. Now don't get me wrong, they had some pretty good shelters on there, and they had some pretty awful ones too. But some of the people, like the drywaller guy, well, he's you know, his shelter was okay, but it was more of a temporary thing. And then he ended up getting hypothermia anyway because he fell in the lake, ice cold water, trying to get food, and he couldn't recover back from the hypothermia. He was getting hallucinations. It ended up tapping him out because he couldn't handle it. So, what am I getting at here, guys? It's kind of a loan review recap type of deal. But I'm going to tell you a little story about one of my friends online. I know him from Xbox, actually. Tattooed the World is his gamer tag. So, he had a wife and 2 daughters. His wife started getting into drugs and cheating on him with her drug handler. He was left watching the kids all the time, basically as a single parent, because she was off partying and doing drugs and, you know, whatever. Then he ended up losing his job because all the pressure with the kids and the wife and everything like that. However, before this happened, he was getting ready to be getting serious into prepping, because I was talking to him about it, and he was, you know, what do I need to do and all that. And what he did, which I never thought of doing, now he's an American, so he has access to a lot more stuff in his local Dollar Tree stores than I do. But what he did was he took $100 and went into Dollar Tree and got $100 worth of food. We're talking dry goods, beans, rice, you know, everything you could possibly think of. $100 worth of food from his local Dollar Tree in one go. He walked up to the counter with a full, he walked up to the counter with 2 full shopping carts of stuff out of the Dollar Tree. This is what he told me, okay? He had food for 6 months off of $100, right? And we're talking, he was living with because of the situation, he was living with his sister, his mom, himself, and the 2 kids, and occasionally his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife, soon to be, right? Occasionally, but not often, because of this whole situation. So this was interesting because he had to buy and build shelving for all the food that he just bought. He couldn't believe how much food he had for $100 at his local Dollar Tree. And I'm not talking crap food here, guys. We're not talking going in there, spend $100 on candy or whatever, right? We're talking about rice-a-ronies, you know, bags of rice, dry goods, dry beans, all different kinds, all kinds of Spanish and Mexican food. Apparently he had in his local Dollar Tree, because he was in Florida, so I guess they had some decent stuff at the local Dollar Tree there. Think about that, $100, 6 months worth of food. Now, the reality did come in, guys. He got sick of cooking, right? Everybody gets sick of cooking. Eventually, they want to just go out and get a burger or whatever, something different. That's what happened. And then his situation progressed where he had to leave the state and find work elsewhere, right? So he ended up giving half of his stockpile or more to his family or friends. He was that comfortable in doing that because he knew he could always go back to a local Dollar Tree and drop a 100 spot down and load up and get a ton of food again. So guys, if you're on a budget, fixed income, you got to listen to this story carefully and think about it. Now, of course, you're going to have to become a real good cook for yourself you're gonna have to learn to cook real soon after getting all this food, right? Because you can put rice and beans and maybe some fish or tuna together, make a nice meal, have some spaghetti pasta or something, put all kinds of stuff together, and don't forget the seasonings. You gotta have all kinds of different flavors, or those rice and beans are gonna taste like crap because you don't have anything to put on them, right? So think hard, think long about this. And any preppers out there, a lot of you write the Dollar Tree off because you think the food is like trash. The food's not trash, it's not expired, it's cheap, and you're crazy not to be shopping there for your daily preps or your weekly or monthly preps. If you can afford, if you can put back $100 for 1 month, guys, that's 6 months worth of food if you know what the hell you're doing when you use the money in the store and buy your stuff. Rice, beans, pastas. They got canned food. They got potatoes. They got meats. They got all kinds of stuff in the US, whereas mine, not so much. But you can load up. Get all kinds of seasonings, get all kinds of food, and then you're done. $100 to gamble on 6 months of food, it's not a gamble, guys. You can't lose unless you don't do it, and unless you don't eat the food, right, that you buy. He was making up all kinds of nice meals with the food until he eventually got sick of it. Because that's the only, you gotta be really smart on how you put stuff together. If you're eating rice and beans all the time every day for a month, you're not gonna wanna touch it for a year, right? But you gotta throw in some different flavors, some spices, some meat, you know, do something different so you trick your body into accepting the food long term. Now, then again, you can, let's say 1 month you put $100 back, you go into your local Dollar Tree. I would scout it out first, make a list of all the stuff would be good for meals and stuff like that, you know. And remember, the dry goods, guys, the bags of beans that are dry, that you have to soak and cook and boil, and those are good for 25 years on the shelf. Period. It's long-term food storage. Long-term food, period. So, you got to get out there and get in there. Now, I don't do it because our Dollar Tree doesn't have a lot of options. However, I did load up on the rice-a-ronis. It's a box of rice, guys, with rice and pasta, and it comes with seasoning in a Mylar package. Now the seasoning, they have all kinds of different ones. I just get the chicken one, because that chicken one, guess what, if you're sick, that's the chicken broth that gets you healthy again. And if you don't have access to that after a SHTF, guess what? Now you could just throw a little bit of that into your meal, or make your own little soup with some pasta, and you know what? You have chicken noodle soup. You just made some. So I did load up on the rice they have there, the rice-a-roni. It gives you a combination of rice and pasta plus the seasoning. Then they also have all the sidekicks that are rice and whatever seasoning you pick of, and then there's pasta ones as well. So I loaded up on that stuff. I got pasta there loaded up on. I have a bunch of dry goods that I actually loaded up on from like here in Canada, we don't get dry goods like the States does. When I went to the States on vacation and went into their local Dollar Tree, they had a whole assortment of dried beans in there. Kidney beans, Great Northern beans, you know, black beans, white beans, whatever. We don't have that here. We do not have dry goods for beans in our local Dollar Trees for whatever reason, which really sucks. So I get mine at the local grocery store. You pay a little more, and that's just the way it is. But I have all that put back. I have the seasonings put back, and I'm just putting this out there to help somebody. If you're on a budget and you got a prep, and let's say you say, okay, if you can save up $20 a month for 5 months without using it, save that for a Dollar Tree run, drop 100 spot in there, get all your stuff, then you'll have one hell of a prepper pantry to start with. Then you can go to the local grocery store after that and add in this and that and stuff you think you're missing. Try things you like, get rid of stuff you don't, you know. But that is the best advice I can give to you on a budget. Hit your local Dollar Tree, do that, and then start growing your own food. You can also get seeds at the Dollar Tree. Start growing some plants to help with your meals. You can get some veggies, some fruits going, all that stuff. So, my camera's about to die. I'm going to put it on the charger over here, on the power pack. But that's something I just wanted to let you guys know, and hopefully it helps. So, till next time, guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. I'm going to jump back on the elliptical, do another set, and go from there.